Welcome to the TrueLens podcast, the podcast all about the communities of Woodbury, Cottage Grove, St. Paul Park, Newport, and Grey Cloud Island.
TrueLens, TrueLens, podcast move.
I'm your host, Ann Schweisguth from TrueLens Community Media, and joining me today as our co-host is the director. Now, it's Parks and Recreation Director, correct? Correct, of the City of Woodbury, Michelle Okada.
Hi, thanks for having me, Ann.
Thank you so much for being here. You know, we're going to talk about one of the biggest things that has come to Woodbury in a while, and that's going to be Central Park.
I thought you might say Topgolf.
That's pretty big, too.
It is.
People are very excited about
They
that.
are.
I know that you've heard of Central Park. I know that you've seen it
Yep.
quite a bit over the past couple of years.
Yes.
Central Park had a major remodel.
Yes.
And that started, a year and a half ago?
The actual construction, April of 2024.
So that building it broke ground in 2001.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
We were both here. I think we were both sitting in the hole, literally.
Probably.
Like for the groundbreaking. I remember
Yes.
filming it. And it opened in 2002.
Yes.
23 years later, we fast forward.
Yes.
And a whole renovation was planned. And that was years in the making and talking about.
Yes. I think even before my time as director, in about 2015, the partners had got together and said, okay, what does the future of this look like? We know we have deferred maintenance coming up. And so a lot of conversations started then, a little slow and steady, but then I would say really in 2019, 2020, unfortunately, right as COVID hit, conversations had picked up a little bit. And so then that slowed things. But 2022, hot and heavy with planning and what is this going to look like? A lot of community engagement, working with different partners, and then closing most of the facility, but keeping open for our connection. So the YMCA, the library stayed open
The whole
for the
time.
duration.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So differences there.
And there was a lot of construction going on.
A lot.
It was amazing because the whole thing was like open in the
Yes.
middle. It
Yeah.
was so strange to look at. And then it's amazing to see it kind of come around to what it is now, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I think, and thanks to you and your team for kind of capturing some of that.
We've got a lot of
before,
aerials.
during, after. It really is. I mean, the machinery that they had inside the building.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was a very, very big job. Now, when did you start with the City of Woodbury?
1996.
1996. Holy
Yes.
smokes.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you've always been here.
Yes.
Yeah, because I started in 2000.
Okay.
And Michelle's always been here.
Yeah.
You started back, you were running the park and recreation programs.
Right. Yep. I was the main recreation programmer. There were a couple of us over the years. But back then I was really the one doing youth programming. We always had someone else that was doing adult programming and then a supervisor that helped with the budgets and things like that.
I'll always remember you with a bullhorn at safety camp.
I'm pretty sure there will be one at my retirement party, right? A bronzed bullhorn. I do love a good bullhorn.
You were so good at it. I remember your boys at safety camp.
Oh, yeah.
And now
Yeah.
they're like grown up.
Yep.
One's a pilot, one's in the NFL. Like,
Yep.
I mean,
They're adulting, full on adulting.
they're full on adulting.
My husband likes to stay off the payroll.
Right? That's good for you.
Yep.
Good for you. After you were working Park and Rec, you went over to the Public Safety Department for a while.
I did, yep, a 7-year stint working with their support services. Did some stuff with a new position, Public Information Officer. Lots of learning, lots of great experience, but happy to be back where my heart is, and that's in Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, and now you're the Ron Swanson of Parks and Rec. You're more like a Leslie Knope, though, I feel.
So it's funny, right? Positionally, with the show, I would be Ron Swanson, but yes, I do think my personality is much more, Leslie.
Well, let's get into Central Park. Can you just paint us a picture of what people can find inside Central Park?
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure to do that. And I hope that a lot of people see either their suggestions or their ideas or, more importantly, sort of what traditionally the spirit of Central Park was. I'll talk a little bit about that in that people really loved the space. They loved how it was in a lot of areas. And so we really wanted to honor that so that people go in there and they see things that are reminiscent, but maybe a little more improved.
Right. People are like, don't get rid of the trees. We like the
Right.
water.
Yes. They
Yeah.
want to be able to sit and read a book there. So Definitely, the playground. So there was some surveying done much in advance of the project, and there was a desire, pretty overwhelming desire, that yes, people wanted an indoor play structure in our community. And so we retained that really in the same footprint.
Yes.
So same space, changed it up a little bit. Obviously, if you're going to do something like that, we tended to lean more toward the play features, a little less on the theming. So the previous play structure had a lot more theming, a lot more trees and rock outcroppings and things like that. But
Or
we
the
did.
little boat.
Yes,
Yeah.
we still have a boat. We still have a bridge and a boat, and so we still have
Staples.
some of those things, but a lot more play opportunity, and then retain the mural. So
Yes.
new mural, updated, but really reminiscent. It remains sort of the theme of the St. Croix River Valley.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very peaceful, even though there's, a lot of noise going on, but kids are
Yeah.
having a lot of fun. Lookout Ridge indoor playground at Central Park in the city of Woodbury. And then what else will people find in the building?
Yep. So new, with just sticking with the indoor playground, we were able to, with some excavation, to create a little bit of a different space down there. We added a couple party rooms. The party rooms have forever been, or the birthday parties have been forever popular. So we were able to create some specific spaces for those birthday
Looking
parties.
back, I didn't realize there wasn't a dedicated party room.
No.
You would just get a table at the little area where people would sit.
Yep.
And that worked for years and years.
Yep, and we had some rooms near there, so like bigger parties could rent the space and then go in after, and that worked okay. But this seems to be going really well. I think from October through December, we have 95 birthday parties.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're really...
That's a lot of cake.
A lot of cake.
That's a lot of
and
cake.
pizzas. So it seems to be cake and pizzas are sort of the theme.
That's the thing. Okay.
Yes, yep. And so they can have that in those parties. One of our partners, the school district, has been a partner since the inception, so since 2002. They are remaining a partner, but we were able to freshen up their suite space a little bit. So a lot of the same footprint, but we were able to give them a new entrance. Bright, clear glass entrance, a lot more daylight, and just freshen things up there. They really seem to be pleased with that access.
And they do ECFE, early childhood family education down there?
They used to. So originally it
Oh,
was
okay.
preschool programming and parent-child. They've adjusted their programming a little bit. So the suite hosts their English language classes. So
Oh, okay.
the Great River Consortium, a lot of great interactions. And it is a great space for that because then those participants can get to the library, the YMCA, and the open spaces of Central Park. They also host their online school. So the teachers and students that are doing the online school have a connection opportunity and then a building that they can call their own. And then lastly, sort of the testing portion of the school district, there's part of that in that suite as well. So the staff that does the 3 and 4 testing and then the special education programming testing out of there. So those are the main programs that they host within Central Park.
And then you have new meeting spaces throughout the building.
Yeah, yep. So in coordination with the school district, there's a couple of training rooms that we share. So they have that access mostly during the day, and then we have access to them for the public and our programming in the evenings and on weekends or overflow birthday parties, should we need those. And then adding that whole addition. So in the general footprint stayed about the same, but by enclosing the amphitheater, so that's something new. Same footprint of the amphitheater, same benches of the amphitheater,
Yeah.
but
With cushions.
with cushions.
I sat on the cushions the other day. So much nicer.
Right,
Yes.
right. So
Yes.
going to performance, even though they're only 40 minutes, those
a long
wooden
time.
benches can get a little uncomfortable. So our seniors were particularly excited about that. So they like to go to the concerts and entertainment there. So they'll be able to sit a little bit longer, a little bit more comfortably.
Nice,
But by
nice.
enclosing that, we were able to add another space up above it.
Which we were super excited about.
Yes. So
Yeah.
not only having you as a cohabitant of this new space,
Yes.
we have rooms up there that we're dedicating and focusing on some of our senior and adult programming during the day.
Which I know is something that people really wanted.
Yes.
A dedicated senior space.
Correct. It's not a senior center. That's not something that was part of the project, but we were able to build some really beautiful space to hold bridge club and mahjong and quilting and book club and driver improvement classes. One big space or divided into 2. They helped us pick out everything. Do they want carpet or hardwood floor? Do they want what kind of chairs and tables and what really serves the purpose of the programming that we'll host for them in there. So that was kind of a cool experience.
It's a nice space.
Yes.
And it's right next to our new office, which we're constructing on the other side of that.
Yes, right on the same floor. If you ask me what my favorite space is, that would be one of them for sure. I love that. I love the decoration up there, the calmness, the lighting.
The lighting throughout the whole building. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
More daylighting was another project priority. How do we get light, especially in our lower level? We've got a lot of things that happen in the lower level of the facility. So that was really creative to get some of the lighting in there.
Well, let's talk more about this. But first, why don't we watch a video that we created and people can kind of see some of these elements
Great.
as they were kind of being made.
Love it.
All right.
Since this first opened about 20 years ago, our population has doubled in size. And so we wanted to create a space to invite all those new people that have moved to our community over the last 20 years.
Like most facilities, renovation is necessary, and after 23 years, we certainly needed it. We do want people to feel like this is their space, so there was a great amount of public engagement. We started by asking people early on to really seek the input of not only the users, but folks that might not have traditionally come to Central Park and what might get them to come to Central Park in the future. There are a few really neat new features here at Central Park.
So there is solar on top of the large portion of Central Park and the library roof. We also installed a geothermal system here, and then the windows are all glazed. That helps reflect the sun, helps during the winter and summer months. And then LED lighting. Those are the top components of this project that are energy saving.
The new enclosed amphitheater will provide a great space for new events, such as the teen movie nights, performances in the park, and a variety of different activities as well. With it now being enclosed, it really opens up the opportunities for new programs that we haven't been able to do in the past.
Lookout Ridge has been completely renovated, 75 features for the kids, improved sightlines for parents, 2 adjoining party rooms for bringing together your celebration, and wonderful natural light to really make the entire space welcoming for all.
What I'm most excited about is the senior focus space. Our seniors and older adults really haven't had a space that's been intended for their programming. We do plan to program it during the day and open that space up in the evenings for rentals. The programming will serve as a hub for our seniors and older adults in the community.
The garden space was particularly important to our residents and community members. It's a good mix of what has traditionally been here and what's new.
The multi-purpose room can be divided into 3 different spaces, and it really will provide a great space for a variety of different programs. That space will really allow us to meet the needs of the community with programs in a way that we haven't been able to in the past.
Looking forward to people having the opportunity to come here and be surprised at what's new and take a look at all the fun things we've added to this building. So can't wait to hear the feedback from all of you of what you think about this new updated building that we have in our community.
So Central Park now open.
Now open.
People can come enjoy.
We've hosted our first wedding.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I heard that it went really well.
It went well.
That's down in the new multi-purpose room, which is called
The Woodlands rooms.
Woodlands. Yeah, Woodlands A, B, and C.
Correct.
So it can be one big giant room or 3 separate rooms. In the multi-purpose room, you can have weddings.
Yeah.
I heard a gala's coming.
Yes, the Chamber, Woodbury Chamber of Commerce is going to host their annual event there. We're excited about that.
How many people does that fit? I know there's different configurations.
Yeah, so it really depends on how people want it set up. I can say, if you just want chairs and it's sort of a sitting training sort of session, we could have up to 350.
Wow.
Seated banquet style, depending on if you need a head table, if you want the food inside. There's lots of options, but comfortably for a plated dinner, we're looking at about 260, 270.
Wow. We don't have a lot of spaces like that in Woodbury, so I think that's really needed.
Right.
So that's fantastic.
Yes.
Do you know why it was called Central Park originally?
So I was trying to understand this or see if I could find anything that alluded to it. What I remember, though, again, because I was here.
You were here, yep.
It's in the center of the city. And they did want it to, play homage to an indoor park, whether it
Yes.
was the playground or the nature inside. So Central Park is how I believe it came about.
Well, it's worked. It's stuck.
It has.
That's good. Do you have a personal favorite spot? A new favorite spot?
Well, I do really like the senior rooms. We call those the prairie rooms, so prairie A and B. Really beautiful spaces. And then being able to help pick out a lot of the furniture. There's a couple of furniture pieces that I really love.
I love the colors.
The colors seem great. They fit in. There's a couple of booths right on the east entrance. I really love those. I think they just create a really neat experience, whether you're going to meet with someone and have a cup of coffee or do a meeting there. I think that's kind of a cool space.
I love how there's variety of seating. You know, there's not just one style. You know, you can pick what you like to be at.
Thanks for noticing that.
Yeah.
That was something we heard. People want, and we talk about, we want Central Park to be what people want or need it to be. And we think that the seating helps to create those different experiences, both soft seating, table seating, larger table seating. So yeah, the furniture we think really helps to create some experience.
After all this time working on the project, when you walk into Central Park, what's the emotion that hits you?
Gosh, thankfulness for, just having the opportunity to be part of a project like this. I do really think that this is for the majority of our community members, not only Woodbury, but the area, the guests that we get in and out of there. I think they enjoy it. I think that they like having a space like this in their community that they can go. I walked in the other day, and in the west entry, we've got high top seating, some soft chairs, and they were all in use. And
Nice.
all different groups of people and different ages of people. We talk a lot about Central Park being very multi-generational.
It's for everyone.
For everyone.
Yeah.
And they're all doing different things. And again, so that sort of mantra that I have of I hope it's what they want it to be or need it to be at that time, I kind of saw that and maybe got a little emotional. I don't know. But it was just like, oh, we're here and they're using it as kind of how we envisioned it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's out because there was a lot of talk about it. And when you have something that big, you don't
Yes.
really know how it's going to all come together.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
If you could describe the new Central Park in 3 words, what would they be?
That's a tough one, Ann.
Only 3.
Okay. I'm kind of wordy, so this is like an extra challenge.
Put your Leslie Knope inside.
Yeah.
And be your Ron Swanson.
I think, first of all, modern. I think there's definitely
Absolutely.
modernness to it. The lighting is something that really is modern and creates a neat vibe. And then when I say vibe, I also think vibrant.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
really vibrant. And then lastly, I don't know if this is sort of what I want it to be, but welcoming. I
Yes.
think no matter which door you walk in, whether you're coming from the Link, from the Y, or Stonecrest, or one of the main entrances, I hope people feel welcome. Whether it's the signage that gets you to where you're trying to go, or just, gosh, I could sit there and do something productive or relax. I hope it feels welcoming.
I think overall it is a building that you walk into and you just feel like, oh, I'm happy to be here.
Good.
Which is,
Yeah.
you don't always get that.
No, right.
What's one story from a visitor or family that you've heard of, since the reopening, of what they think?
The trees, we were able to preserve a few of the original trees, and people noticed that because they remembered sitting there with their child at the time and now their grandchild.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's kind of cool to have those feelings. And then the speaking of adults now with their children, they remembered going to Lookout Ridge themselves and
Right.
now are bringing their children. So
that's something.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, speaking of Lookout Ridge, it got a new mural on the wall. And we
Yes.
did a video about the artist, Mark Granlin.
Yep.
And then we also did a video about Heather Novak-Peterson, who did the artwork for the tile work. So let's watch that video producer Dan Hiding did. And then we'll talk about it.
Sounds great.
All right.
I'm painting murals for Woodbury, in particular for the indoor play area called Lookout Ridge. So the idea is that when kids are climbing the playground equipment, they'll be climbing up on a ridge and getting a view and feeling like they're in the river valley. These paintings I'm hoping to have finished at the end of the summer. We'll scan them, blow them up bigger. on a printed vinyl material and install them at Central Park. I hope that the kids who are playing in the playground really get a sense of that they're climbing up these bluffs in the St. Croix River Valley. As you're climbing up, things change, and then you have these nice views. So I hope the kids get that sensibility.
I'm super excited to be here at Mercury Mosaics, seeing how my ideas of my paintings are being translated into these amazing mosaics that they're making. Both of these are giant walls that are going to be at Central Park. One is a feature wall that is of oak trees, and it was purposely selected because we really wanted to reflect the trees of the Woodbury area. And I'm a huge tree fan, so it was a really great experience to have a little piece of biophilia put into there and have it be done in tile so that it can really hold up for a long period of time. Hi, we're here at Central Park and the mural's done now, so I'm gonna go get to see it for the first time. Let's go check it out. Oh, that is so awesome. Oh, I love how they wrapped the corner too. It's fantastic.
Wow! That is so cool. Oh man, God, they did a good job, really good job.
It's fun to get to touch it. Just love the idea of like how all of these things came together to make this happen.
You know, when it's smaller and you blow it up 3.5 times bigger, you know, what's gonna happen with that detail? It's even better. Anything I'm making, I'm putting a certain amount of energy into them. And then people respond and adding their own thoughts and feelings and energy into that object as well. And then over time, it becomes something more.
I think art too many times is perceived as being really elitist and not having a general audience. And having these civic buildings have this kind of real investment that is of a museum quality is really key to all the generations that come forward.
So our TrueLens team followed those two artists for like a year and a half, from like the beginning to the end, to get all that different footage.
Right.
Amazing. Mark, the gentleman who painted the gigantic mural in Lookout Ridge, he painted it in his home studio, obviously.
Yes.
And then, he, like you said, they scanned it and blew it up 3 times the size.
Yeah.
And that was so cool that we were able to capture his first look
Yes.
at that. I mean, that's got to be something for him as an artist to be like, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I too find joy in being able to see his reaction to it. We had the pleasure of going to his studio and kind of hearing about the passion that he put into it, which is really cool to think that's going to go in a play space for kids.
For decades.
For decades.
That's
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really neat. We've talked, and we kind of talked with Mark, and he worked really closely with the playground people too. It was important that the colors matched and how we could create an experience with art and with play. And now the kiddos might not experience it so much or have this feeling, but the idea that the art and the playground all start on the ground, from the water and the sand, kind of grow into the cliffs and the trees and then into the sky. Yeah, so they
So
mimic
cool.
each other. Yeah.
So cool.
Again, not thinking the 8-year-old's going to get it, but I do think it creates a feeling.
They'll definitely feel that, and just being in spaces that has art like that
Yes.
changes who you are.
I think so too.
You know, and I think as Heather said, you know, having public art is so important.
Yes.
And those tile walls that were created,
Yes.
breathtaking.
Yes.
The first time I saw them, I thought, oh wow, this is gorgeous. What was like your first impression of that?
Thank you. I absolutely love it. I love, again, the nature theme. We really, the garden is a huge part, the center of the facility. And to be
Yes.
able to bring that, and I look at it a little bit too, in activating spaces that aren't actually, super active, those hallways. So to put art in there and just put that beauty in these spaces that might not otherwise have that sort of vibe or feeling, just is really cool. And it's tactile, right? We're not
Yes.
afraid for people to touch it.
Yeah, it's not going to break.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
When you turn a corner and you don't expect it,
Yes.
it's even like, wow, that's super cool.
Yes, and all of the professionals that lent their talents to it, from Mark and Heather, and then the team at Mercury Mosaic, just really cool. And the pride in the work and being able to see it is just really cool.
Yeah. Well, I hope that everybody hops over to Central Park and checks it out. Very, very cool.
Yes.
Let's talk about some upcoming events if people want to know what's going on around town. Holiday Train. Have you ever been out to the Holiday Train in Cottage Grove?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh, you should go. It's
Yeah.
so fun.
Yes.
It stops in Cottage Grove Saturday, December 13th at 5:15. The train will stop, open up, musicians will play for a while, and then it goes on to its next stop. The event opens at 3:30. They'll have food trucks and some other things for people to do. It's at West Point Douglas Road near the Park and Ride and the Youth Service Bureau. It's a big fundraiser for the local food shelf, so bring some donations. Bring some paper products, some donations for the food shelf. They'll be collecting those. Breakfast with Santa at River Oaks Golf Course, December 21st. You can sign up on their website. And New Year's Eve at M Health Fairview Sports Center. That's a big event in Woodbury.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been going on. I don't know how long that's been going on. It feels like a long time.
It was one of my first events that actually we started here in Woodbury, probably back in the late 1990s.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's grown.
The
and
1900s, as
I
the
know,
kiddos say.
Right? Yeah. And it's grown. They have a matinee for families that want to do something a
There's
little
two
earlier.
events now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
there's kind of a countdown at, like 8 o'clock or something like that
Yes.
for the kids, because obviously we're not staying up until midnight with kids.
Right.
Super fun DJ, inflatables, bingo, ice skating.
All the things.
All the things. You can register with Woodbury Park and Rec. It typically does sell out.
It does.
So get your tickets early, or there might be some at the door you can check out.
Yep.
Woodbury will also be doing their annual winter medallion hunt. That starts in January.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that. I think that's super fun because not everybody does like a winter one. So I think people really get involved in that, and you put your clues on social media and things
They
like
do.
that.
Yeah. We find it's really cool. It engages participants that we don't usually get in Parks and Recreation.
Right.
And then they get out into the parks in the middle of winter.
Yeah, we all need reasons to actually
Yes.
force us to get out in the winter.
Correct.
So I think
Yes.
that's a great idea.
Yep.
Word on the street is Santa will be all over town over the next few weeks, so remember to be nice. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
That's what's happening. Michelle, any final words you want to share?
Thank you to you and your team. You definitely had a lot to do with the project. We're so excited for you to be partners in the space.
So are we moving in March?
Okay.
So we'll be in Central Park at that time. We'll still be in our Cottage Grove location until then.
Good. And then also capturing it. I mean, really to memorialize the process. And we're so grateful to our partners. And, I have the pleasure of talking about the project, but I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to this huge, wonderfully talented team from our other staff partners, to HGA, the architects, lots of really professional, talented people that helped us get to this point.
So many people work so hard on this project.
Yes.
And I'm sure are so glad it's done.
Yeah, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and now hopefully real joy of this is kind of a career type of a project.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's going to be here for such a long time before it gets remodeled again.
Yes.
And a lot of people are going to use it.
I hope so too, and I hope I've gotten asked this question. I alluded to it a little bit, but I hope Central Park is everything that everyone needs or wants it to be at some point.
That is the perfect way to end.
Thanks, Ann.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I always love talking. We've known each other for so long.
Forever.
So it's great.
Yeah.
Well, happy holidays. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next year.
Thanks for joining us, TrueLens Podcast. Subscribe now, brought to you by TrueLens Community Media. Watch, listen, connect.